So we'll start. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the webinar today. My name is Ankita, and I'm the regional manager for Africa and Frappe. I look actively into business and marketing enablements for the community. So today we will be going through the asset management module in ERPNext, and we have with us Sumit Singh Yadav from New Indictrans. So first, let me introduce New Indictrans. New Indictrans has been working with Frappe for the last 10 years, starting from the early days of web notes when Frappe was actually web notes. With a strong team of around 80 people dedicated on working on ERPNext and Frappe products, they have successfully managed to do 400 implementations, including ERPNext and other products as well. And Frappe referred a client to New Indictrans for the support of web notes back 10 years ago, and that client is still working with them today. So they have a very good client retention as well. So the client has also entrusted New Indictrans with a large asset management implementation project, which was built using Frappe framework. So New Interturn has carried out multiple asset management implementation for major clients over the years. So coming to Sumit is a functional consultant at New Intertrans. He's someone who truly cares about making a difference for the people he works with. Starting his journey with ERPNext, he quickly found his footing and built a deep understanding of how to solve even the trickiest client challenges. So we welcome him and the New Intertrans team to help us go through the asset management module in ERPNext. So over to you, Sumit. Maybe you can take it forward from here.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you, Ankita, for a warm welcome and for our company introduction. Thank you, everyone, for joining the webinar. So let's start the session. Once I'll start sharing my screen, let me know it's visible or not. Yeah, so my screen is visible. Can you
It's
confirm,
coming up.
Ankita?
Yes, good.
Yeah, it's up. You can start.
Yeah. So our today's session is on introduction to asset management with ERPNext, and I will be leading your session today. Myself, Sumit Singh Yadav. I'm working at Indictrans as a functional consultant, and our today's agenda is covering various aspects of asset management. First, we will be understanding asset management challenge. Second, how ERPNext addresses these challenge. Key features of ERPNext for asset management. Then we will be looking for one real-time example. And at last, Q&A session, conclusion, and there will be a call to an action. So here we go. What is an asset? Basically, an asset is any valuable item owned by a company. Example, mobile phone, printer, car, manufacturing device, machines, etc. Generally, an asset is a tangible item that is located on the company premises or is carried by an employee. Asset management challenges which is faced by most of the organization to track down their asset and manage. So basically, any organization faces these challenges: lack of visibility, inaccurate tracking, high maintenance cost, inefficient resource utilization, and compliance pressure. Features of ERPNext for asset management and how ERPNext addresses these challenges. So first, it provides you an asset tracking and management dashboard, maintenance, scheduling and tracking, asset valuation and depreciation management, customizable report tool, integration with other ERP module. We'll take one example and proceed further on our ERPNext screen with a demo. So I'm starting with a very basic at initial stage from creation of an item, how we are going to convert into an asset, and from there depreciation. So as we go, item list, we'll add one item. Now I need to write an item code and define. So let's take example of woodcutter machine. We'll fill item name, item group. It belongs to an asset. HSN code. So basically HSN code you can get over a Google. For every product there will be a separate HSN code. For this machine 8456. Yeah, this is the category. Once we have filled these details, there we can see an option to check mark is a fixed asset. Once we click on this, we get a field of auto create asset on purchase and asset category. So auto create asset on a purchase, we will be looking this later in our webinar. But first we'll go with is fixed asset. Asset category. So asset category where basically you define the similar kind of a asset at a one place, whether it's a vehicle. So in one place you can define it, machine. So all the machine types you can define in one particular group. And this is a master. This you can create even before creation of an item or at this particular point also. Just simply click on create a new asset category. There will be a field like asset category name and finance book. These details need to be filled. Once you fill the details, save. So we have already created few. So as this is the woodcutter machine, we'll be going with the machine one. As I save, now we'll move to the next part, asset list. Once we open the asset list, add asset. Over here, in item code, we will be writing woodcutter machine. The details, as we can see, item name, and asset category has been automatically fetched. Asset owner, it means to whom this asset belongs to, whether it can be company, supplier, customer. So we'll go with company. Once we click on company, we can find asset owner company. You can define anything. We go with Indictrans. Location. Location is also a kind of a list where you can create a multiple location based on your feasibility. For that, just click on create a new location, mention the location and save. So we have created few. I'll go with factory one. Is existing asset. Is composite asset. Let's see the next part where we are going to consider what would be happening if we are going to check mark with is existing asset and if we are not check marking this option. So in the first case, when we were making item, this auto create asset on purchase field was there. This scenario, once we are not tick marking this option, we need to fill this detail purchase receipt, purchase invoice. Basically, it means particular asset you are purchasing one after you have implemented the ERPNext into your organization, and then you are purchasing that particular asset. If not, then you can go with is existing asset and is composite asset, which I will be knowing you later in this session. So as of now, we'll go with is existing asset. Once we enter the detail, we need to enter purchase date, purchase amount. So let's fill with purchase date. I have purchased this item around 2023 in June. Let's take on 4th of June we have purchased, and the product was available for our use from June 5th. Our gross purchase amount was 1 lakh rupees. Yeah. Once we enter these details, now we can see the option for depreciation. Depreciation is a state the value of an asset is reduced over its useful life. Once I click on calculate depreciation, I will be getting opening accumulated depreciation and opening number of book depreciation. So to understand this, let's take an example. Suppose we have purchased a vehicle of 10 lakh rupees and the vehicle life was 5 years. Over the 5 years, the depreciation will be happening for a particular thing. So 5 lakh divided by 5 years divided by 10 lakh, it will be around 2 lakh per year. So already my product has been depreciated for 2 years and I need to mention that. So earlier, if I am using any other ERP or manually I am tracking, then these calculations I will be having. Once I will be creating an depreciation, there I can mention opening accumulated depreciation. So the amount which is 4 lakh over here, we can mention that thing in this field. And number of book depreciation, it means the product is depreciated for the 2 years. So that year is going to come in this particular field. The item is fully depreciated, it means it is in a condition of disposable or in a retired state. At that particular time, we can go with is fully depreciated. Now, we'll consider a complete new depreciation over here and we'll be going with straight line method. So straight line is basically the depreciation method where the product is getting depreciated over its useful life in the equal manner of the value. So total number of depreciation, I want the depreciation should be 5 and frequency of the depreciation that would be around in months. So in every 1 year, this product should be getting depreciated over next 5 years. And depreciation posting date. Once this depreciation posting date will be working from purchase date. So we have purchased the particular product on 4th of June 2023. Our depreciation would be 2024 June 4th as we have entered the details. Now, when it comes to an insurance detail, so let's take an example. If we have purchased a particular vehicle and with that we get a insurance detail, policy number, which company is the insuring partner, whether it's a comprehensive insurance and insurance start date and end date, those values. So I'll be giving you like a use case of this later on. And if this is particularly a machine, it will be requiring a maintenance over a time period. So we need to tick mark with the option maintenance required. Once we fill these details, we can save. Over here, we can see custodian and departments. We can evenly mention to whom this particular asset belongs to and which department. So it can be any kind of a department, accounting, sales, management. So whosoever be handling the product. As I say, our asset depreciation schedule has been created. So this is the basically our depreciation, which is going to schedule 20,000 up till the 1 lakh rupees is being consumed for the next 5 years. As we have mentioned over here, our depreciation should be total 5 and in every 1 year. So in every 1 year, total 5 times the depreciation is being calculated in a straight line method. There are various other methods which we will be talking. So once we are satisfied with the depreciation, we'll submit this. Now, once we have submitted this, there are a couple of things which we can do. Once we click on manage, there will be a category of transfer of an asset or directly over here asset movement we can track down. So transfer of an asset from one location, we need to transfer this particular asset to the other location. In this scenario, as of now, our current location is factory 1. I want to change this location to some other. I'll click transfer of an asset. Over here, I'll be selecting the purpose. In purpose, transfer. Source location currently factory 1 is there. A target location, I want to move this to as Pune location. I'll be checking this Pune. Save, submit. As once I submitted this, we'll go to our screen back. Just refresh. Now this was our depreciation straight line. So the graph would be in a straight line form. And previously the location was factory 1. Now the location has been updated to Pune. Let's go with other task. Now here, maintain asset. As I have mentioned, a woodcutter machine, definitely any machine would be requiring some maintenance. For that, we'll go to a maintenance part, maintain asset. Over here, maintenance team we need to define. If it is not been initially set up, you can click on create a new asset maintenance team. Just enter the team name, maintenance manager, and other details fill and save. So I've already created one as a name Sumit, and in task I've assigned woodcutter machine. So first task would be cleaning the blade. Periodicity can be daily, weekly, monthly. So let's assign as daily. And to whom I want to assign, any user belonging to the specific criteria, I can assign. So let's assign to Atul. As we have entered the detail, so its periodicity is based on daily basis. The next scheduled date we can see over here is 2609. As I save this, now over here the planned state came. Under the planned section, our cleaning the blade task is being planned. As I click on this, now I can change the status if it is been completed. So when the task has been completed, assigned for tomorrow only it's completed, change the maintenance status as completed. What particular action has been performed? So blade cleaning we can mention. Once the detail are filled, just save and submit. Okay. As we submitted, we can see the status has been updated to completed. Let's go back.
Hello.
Yeah.
We request everyone to put the questions in the chat box because the session is recorded and we'll take it in the Q&A session. Yeah, okay, thanks. Yes, go ahead. Sumit.
Yeah. So now here two things we can overview. One is completed task and one was the planned task. This part is over. Let's move on to our next part. So now repair of an asset. So particularly any machine get a failure or it's stopped working, in that condition we will be going with repair asset. As I click on repair asset, when is the failure occurrence date? Let's mark as 24. After mentioning, depends on your purchase invoice, how much cost was required to repair this particular thing. You can fetch the item cost directly. So in my case, I am having few of the purchase invoice ready. We can track with them. So repair cost taken 2000. What was the error? We can mention wire damage, action performed, wire has been changed. and just save. Yeah. Once after submitting that, there will be an option repair status. If it is in a pending state, let it be pending, completed, and cancelled. So this has been completed. And submit the task. So we can see our work has been completed. Let's move on to another example. After repair asset, split asset. Split asset basically means dividing an asset into more than a one form. Let's take an example and understand. Suppose if any organization, there is a single person involved and handling a two laptops, and another employee joined and he also required now a laptop. So the first person who was handling the laptop, he was having a two. We have given divided the laptop. One laptop belongs to employee one and another goes to employee two. So basically it means dividing of an asset. Adjust asset value. Adjust asset value defines if particular thing asset is in a good condition, or suppose let's take another example where we went with some maintenance cost or a repair status. In that condition our asset value has been decreased to some amount and I need to update that as a new asset value. So current state asset value was 1 lakh. Now I want to change as 90,000. As I save this, yeah, we can see the difference amount is automatically fetched over here. That the difference amount is 10,000. Let's submit this. Once I have done these changes, it will impact on our depreciation. Let's see how. Earlier, at the creation of an item, we have given our asset value of 1 lakh rupees. Now, this has been cancelled and the new depreciation has been scheduled, which is costing of 90,000. So the depreciation dates and everything will remain same, but the amount which is that will be getting updated. So now at the price of 90,000, particular asset is being getting depreciated. Yeah. Let's move to next category. Once we complete this, let's go to asset capitalization. So just verbally, I'll be explaining about asset capitalization because it's a advanced asset concept and we require a long duration. Here we are time constraint, so I'll be explaining. Basically, the capitalization means assigning any particular product as a long-term investment rather than a expense at an immediate stage. In capitalization, we have two categories: creating a new composite asset, choose a WIP composite asset. So let first go with create a new composite asset. So in composite asset, for example, there is a system server which I need to set up. For setting up this system server, I'd be requiring hard drive, motherboard, cooling system, RAM, power supply unit, hard drive. By combining this sub-asset, this system server will be set up as a large asset. ERPNext provide us the feasibility to calculate each sub-asset depreciation separately and this particular system server, a large asset depreciation as a separate. This is the meaning of basically a composite asset. Now, WIP composite asset. Let's take in, for example, a construction building is there. A building is getting constructed over a period of 3 years, and the total cost in construction of that building is around 30 lakhs. So, for construction of a building, we required labor, bricks, materials, water supply, and cement, etc. Many things. So that all the calculation which will be happening, we can consider as a WIP composite account, and we can accumulate that overall expense over there. Once the item has been developed, we can move it to the fixed asset category. And once we are moving to fixed asset category, the depreciation will be start for that. Until this stage in WIP composite asset, depreciation will not be happening. It means the item is not ready for use. Now, another thing in this, decapitalization. So decapitalization basically focus on disposable of asset, retirement of an asset, or scrapping of an asset. So in that case, we can go with decapitalization. Next part is our scrap asset and sell asset. Scrap asset, the same what I have told as a decapitalization. Particular asset we are scrapping down or retirement. This asset particularly does not we require anymore. For that, in that case, you can just click on scrap asset and submit on the yes icon. Just tap it, the item will be in scrap condition. And for selling of an asset, just click on sell. You need to fill this detail as a sales invoice. Once this is saved and submitted, you will be getting the status as a sale. So some of the use cases which I'll be showing to you about scrapped and sold items. Let's see. This was a laptop ThinkPad, and as we can see, the item has been scrapped, no more in use. So you are getting the condition as a scrapped. Another one is a sold. These are the few examples. Let's take this lab 001. As we have sold this item, our status is reflecting as a sold. And we can, the same way as I told, sales invoice, just submit that, do the payment entry, the item will be get sold. Now, coming back, taking to another scenario, plugin create one item. Let's take an laptop example. Item group asset HSN for laptop is, let's take laptop itself. Yeah. Mark as of is fixed asset. Once we have marked fixed asset, we'll this time check with auto create asset on purchase. Now another field will appear over here is create a group asset. If similar kind of assets are there, we can go with create grouped asset. Need to define an asset category as a electrical component, or let's go with electrical component. Assign asset naming series. Save this. I will create a PO cycle. So we'll go with purchase order. Add purchase order. Supplier. Required by today. We'll enter our item code. Let's give us a rate 80,000. Save and submit. As we have submitted, we'll create a purchase receipt for it. Just in this, go to the item line. Inside item line, there will be a field to mention an asset location. So in warehouse and reference, asset location field, mention the location, anything as factory 2, save. and submit. As once we save, we get the message asset ACCASS has been created for laptop 112. Now we can complete this flow as well. After this purchase invoice and payment, the status will be paid. Now we'll go to our asset list. Just remove the filter. See, just now we purchased and the asset has been automatically created into the asset. Open. Now you can see the purchase detail, purchase receipt, purchase date, what was the gross purchase amount, how much quantity. So these fields automatically will populated over here. The another condition which we were talking about. And as well, we can go with the calculation of depreciation. So now when we go with the depreciation, there are a few things like straight line, double decline balance, write down value, and manual. So we'll go with double decline balance. Let's see an example of double decline. This is for write down and yeah, so double decline balance. Double decline balance is basically a accelerated kind of depreciation where it is double time of the straight line. With double rate of the straight line, the item will be getting depreciated. So suppose our asset value is of 1 lakh and useful life is of 5 years. In same way, our total asset cost was 1 lakh rupees in this case. And double decline balance we have applied, total depreciation 5 was required. We can see at the amount of rate, 40% rate, the item price is getting decreased at the opening of it. And later on, it will be getting reduced. So the consumption of until 1 lakh rupees. In this, the item will be getting depreciated as a 40%. Another example, this is of double decline. Now we'll see with write down value. Now the condition of write down value is similar to double decline. The only difference is that we can define over here at what percentage the particular depreciation will be happening. So once we go and select write down value, over here we can see rate of depreciation, which we have mentioned. So it is of 20%. So 1 lakh of 20% will be 20,000. So at around this is getting depreciated over per year with the 20% up till our 1 lakh rupees has been consumed for the next 5 total for the next 5 years. And another example of our insurance, how we can mention that. So this is an case scenario where we have example of Mahindra Thar, and as I mentioned, as an asset category into vehicle, our gross purchase amount was 25 lakh rupees, and depreciation was happening every year for the next 10 years. We can fill policy number, insurance start date, end date, whether it's a comprehensive or not, what is the insured value, and the partner. Apart from this, like basically this was all about ERPNext asset management, and there are few things like whenever we are doing any purchase or anything we are doing with an asset, whether we are adding an expense over it, we are selling, so it will be impacting our ledgers, and definitely the impact of that will be on our accounting process. So for that, few of the things we are not going very deep into this, as this would require lots of complex things are there. We can go with the report view for this. As I write report list, The in reference doc type, you need to mention what report you want to see. So we want asset to be seen like this. A display will appear for asset depreciation ledger, asset depreciation and balance, fixed asset register, like this category. Once we click on asset depreciation ledger, let's just click on show report. I guess maybe some error is there. One second. Ah, over here we can see like various assets like depreciation, all the report. In this report view, we can view the complete detail from cost to depreciation, location, everything can be fetched. And there are several reports which can define this thing. And as well as in ledger also we can see this particular thing. So let's move to our next part, over which I will be telling you about. Indictrans team has created a one optimal and most prominent solution for one of our client, QR code based asset tracking system. And this is the most prominent way of using an asset basically. Over here, we can start with an asset life cycle where stage by stage we can look for the things. Starting from procurement, deploy and discover, maintain, support, retirement, and disposable. So complete asset life cycle can be tracked down from here. Once we are moving, so these are the details basically, like how we are asset recording details, locations, and so that thing. Let's come to the part. It's basically a mobile application where you need to log in into a screen, KF community mobile application, where user can log in using the normal ADFS login ID they will be having. Once you have logged into this, you can fetch the click on asset icon, and inside asset icon there you will be getting the fields of asset module where you can define the asset. Either you can enter the asset ID manually, or we can go with the barcode scanning. Once we go with barcodes, the display will be appear with the complete detail of that particular asset. In that we can go with, it will be describing details, schedule update, and what kind of a type it belongs to, asset type, whether it's having a asset subtype or not, and vendor name, serial name. So complete detail can be fixed over there. Even we can do the transfer of location from one location to another, and depreciation scheduling every year. What kind of a depreciation, in same way like straight line, double decline, write down value, and in a same order. So these things can be covered from this particular application, and it ensures us to track down of an asset in an easy manner without having much trouble. This is completely based on our Frappe and ERPNext, but just in a form of mobile application. Let's come back to our ERPNext screen. I just forgot to mention there is also a manual kind of a depreciation in this, where we can go with manually depreciating of an item at particular percentage or any amount. Like suppose first year we have depreciated a particular amount for 30,000 rupees, and next year we are going with 20,000. So basically, if any organization following non-standard pattern, or they are having any internal policies based out of that, they can go with manual depreciation. So yeah, that's all for about as basics of an asset management and introduction. I hope you all understand this. Over to you, Ankita. Now we can open for the Q&A session.
I think we can run the poll first and then we can take the question and answer one by one. Would that be okay? We can see there are a couple of raise
Yes,
of
yes.
hands also. So we'll run a quick poll and after that we'll answer your queries. So we have
Yes.
launched the poll. We would request everyone if you can just spare a few minutes and just give your response to the poll that we have generated. Interesting. So let us end the poll and I'll share the results as well. So these have been the results. Okay, thank you everyone. We will take the questions one by one. Uh, Maybe Sumit, you want to take each of the questions one by one?
Yeah, sure. So we have a question from Anish Prambil. Can I get a certificate after this section? Okay, okay. Sorry, I thought of getting a asset certificate. There is a field. Next question was from Amir Babu. Where is the asset warranty service provider detail, frequency of repair, etc. created? So as we went in the section where like we have seen the repair, I'll share you my screen. Sure. Yeah. So basically this section over here in asset list manage. Over here we have a few couple of tasks as you have said, repair of asset and maintenance, other thing. We can transfer from here or directly we can go with this movement section. In this field, warranty section we can add, but it need to be customized. In other way, insurance detail which we can fill was there. So this is our insurance detail where we have filled. See, like this we can mention our insurance part. I hope this query is cleared. Let's move on to another one. Yeah, so another question is, can you change the depreciation method of an asset after it is created in ERPNext? Yeah, it is possible, but it will be a complex task. In this case, you need to cancel the complete asset and recreate the depreciation again. In that, the complete depreciation which was scheduled previously, it need to be cancelled. And once after cancelling, you can go with the new depreciation. So most of the time, these things are not recommended. We can go with the like standard thing at the creation of an asset only, and we can describe that the depreciation. Sudhakar Kanchi, the next question regarding creating maintenance record. Is it possible to create recurring maintenance tasks? For example, monthly inspection and oil change. Yeah, as we have seen the planning section, if any asset require a maintenance, over there we can schedule our timelines on a monthly basis, and different tasks as being planned. Like first, if oiling is there, you can do oiling, and inspection. These two particular concurrent tasks need to be happened. So we can, yeah, we can mention over there these things as well. Yeah, someone is asking about CWIP. Can I explain once again? Okay, so composite work in progress asset. Composite work in progress asset basically defined, yet the particular asset has not been ready to use. It's under a development. If, let's take an example, construction building, yet it has been not constructed completely and it is under construction, so that's why we are keeping it. The depreciation which is going to start, it is once after the development is completed and we move it to the fixed asset category. That time the CWIP will be working, composite asset. Anyway, we can keep another session for those things. That's a bit complex things over there. Next, what are the possibility of integrating it? Okay, Kamal Solanki, your query was about, yeah, what, yeah, what are the possibilities of it? For this, Kamal Solanki, what is the possibility of integrating ERPNext asset management? For this question, I can ask my team members to note down and they will let you know. Yeah, so for other queries, I hope I have almost cleared many queries. We are ahead of time little. So we can keep these queries into another session, and even our team has been tracked this, all the questions which you have said. We can reply this to your mail IDs. We will let you know the answers.
So I think, Sumit, we can take couple of more questions. There's a question by Anup. He's mentioning how to send asset out of the organization for repair and track its transaction.
How to send asset out of the organization for repair and track its transaction. Okay, so for basically, like if asset need to be sent out of the organization, we can do so, but require a bit of customization, so we can keep the track of it.
Okay.
I
Just to
guess
add here, Karandeep this side. So what we can do is we can use the asset movement doc type. First thing. Second thing, what we can do is we can change the custodian of the asset till time. There will be a supplier linked to that service provider who is going to repair our asset. So what we'll be doing is we'll be just creating a maintenance schedule or an asset repair and marking the purchase invoice against that supplier for the repairs he has taken over. So through that we can route, which is through the standard way. Else we have to customize something in ERPNext to accommodate this use case. I hope that answers your query.
Hi, can I explain?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Hi, Karandeep. So I just want to ask, like, are we giving the warehouses and all, like how we are giving in the subcontracting? What I
So that can be done through an asset location, but the subcontracting flow works on an item basis, not
yeah,
an
correct.
asset basis. So
Mm-hmm.
that is not there by standard in ERPNext, but some workaround or some extra doc type. So you can play around with the asset locations, considering them as warehouses. Through that, you can do that kind of a approach by making an asset movement, sending it from one location to another as a subcontracting entry, and then doing the repairs and getting it back from that location to our source location. This is
Okay.
one possible way to do so. Else, we need to customize something for that.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Hello,
Thanks. Thanks, Tony.
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I have one question, Mr. Somit. While you introduced the existing asset recording, you did not highlight the point of opening accumulated depreciation and the number of depreciation done for the existing asset. So I just want to show us a live example how to book the opening accumulated depreciation and the number of depreciation done, because I tried to participate this in the ERB, but there was some message related to the posting date is not matching with the purchase date or the date available for use. So there was some conflict in this point.
Okay.
The
So let me
second
answer.
question,
Okay. Yes, you can
yeah,
continue.
second question is, if you are selling one asset, as you highlight before, we will mark it as sold. But my question, what are the steps we have to do for after selling the asset in the ERB? Do we need to do some transactions or entries, or automatically once we mark it as sold, the ERB will do the necessary records to
Okay.
close the opening balances?
Okay. So, Sumit, just share your screen. So I'll break
Yeah.
down your questions in two parts, as you mentioned, the question one and question two. So the first question is related to an existing asset. Okay. So when there is an existing asset, there are some things which we have to keep in mind, which has to have be entered in the master data. The first thing is, when was the actual use date of that asset? That is a mandatory field. The second point is the gross purchase amount, which means the value at which we had purchased the asset probably a year or 2 years ago. These two things are
Okay.
mandatory to create a asset as an existing asset. Once this is done, what you have to do is you have to do a back calculation, or probably in any of your Excels or any other source system, you are tracking the data of your asset register. In that
Hmm.
asset register or your Excel sheet, you will be having the number of depreciation booked and the amount of depreciation booked. So the
Yes, of course.
value of depreciation booked, you have to enter in the opening accumulated depreciation field, so that the system knows that that an asset A is worth of 100 rupees, but the depreciation worth of 50 rupees have already been charged over the past years. So the further depreciation will be continuing for the remaining 50 rupees of that asset. This is how
Can
you
you
can.
share the screen, please? Can you share the screen?
Okay, sure. Sumit, just share the screen. I'll just quickly run through the fields as we are short in time and we have other queries
Uh,
also to answer.
Uh,
Quickly share your
but,
screen.
I'm so sorry, but maybe I should interrupt. Maybe we can take this separately over a call because it's a two-part question. It might take some time to actually show it in the system. Would
Sure.
that be okay?
Okay.
Because we have couple of questions that people would like to ask
Okay.
also.
What I'll do is I'll just drop in my email
Yeah,
in
that
the
would be
chat
better.
and you can reach out to me.
Yeah, yeah. Hope that's okay with you, Mohammed Yusuf. Hope that's okay with
Yes.
you. All right.
Okay, we can have separate call for this if I can
Yeah,
reach
yeah.
to.
And you also maybe drop in your email ID in the chat box so that the new Indictrans team can also reach out to you.
I'll drop my email now in the chat.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
We have some raise of hands as well. So if all of you can just unmute yourself and ask the question. We have four raise of hands.
yeah, anyone of you can ask. Joven asks.
Yeah, yeah,
Hello,
please go ahead.
Sumit. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can go ahead.
Uh, S- Sumit bhai, as you said earlier, that uh, company is maintaining two asset, and after that you split the asset for another employee which join. Okay.
Yes.
So what if one employee that has been assigned laptop has left the company and now you want to regroup that asset?
Okay. Basically, you mean to say only one laptop was there, and that The employee who was having that particular laptop, he has left the organization.
No, sir. That I am asking. I am telling that as first you said that in company there were two laptops, and which was handled by one employee. And after that, another employee joined, and you split that asset from two different individuals. Now one individual has left the company. So how will you regroup in the ERP system?
Okay, we can like if for the particular year that particular asset has been used, so based on that depreciation first thing, and we can regroup with the category. I guess ERP is not much involved in this because we are regrouping of the asset. So directly we can hand over to the particular assigning person, and he can mention into the feed that again we are having a two particular laptops or anything when we are dividing that thing.
Okay. And I have another question that how will we manage a non-current? Like you said that current work in progress assets are the assets that will take a long time to be developed. So non-current assets are somewhat like that. So can we basically use the current composite work in progress asset for tackling with non-current assets?
So there are two use
No, I
cases.
didn't.
One thing, if you wish to start the depreciation schedule of that asset
Yeah.
once it is purchased but it is under development, then the CWIP needs to be explored and moved further. But if you do not wish to do so, we'll just keep the asset in draft. Once everything is done, you are ready for the uh, will be ready for the depreciation schedule, then you can start.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I guess now we have no open questions.
Hi, Sumit. I have one question.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go ahead.
when we are transferring the asset from one custodian to another or one department to another, can we change the cost center as well in that?
By standard, there is no provision for cost center transfer because the cost center logic is only limited to the in purchase and purchase. Sorry, the P&L accounts, not related to the asset accounts. That is why there is no concept of cost center, but we can have a provision of transferring. We have done it for one of our clients in the Middle East. That similar functionality can be developed.
Okay, perfect. So it's mean we can do the customization for that,
Yeah,
right?
customization is possible. Only we have to identify what kind of touch points we need to customize. Either we want to transfer the further depreciations in the new cost center or only the value of that asset. These two things needs to be finalized. So some custom JVs needs to be passed to that.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Hi Sumit.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello. Hi Sumit. This is Alex. Thanks for your time. Actually, it was a wonderful session, but I have so much questions because like if it is a fixed asset, like it involves like more or like finance part and HRM part and bank maintenance also. So it is a deeper thing to discuss. But I have just a few things to say. Like there are few more methods that we use for fixed asset, like use as you told declining balance method or MACRS or like group composite method, right? Can you give us a, little bit of insight about those methods? It will be more helpful.
About CWIP, you are asking.
I'm just asking about like double decline method, the unit of production method with the use of production, right? Production based
So
assets.
So to answer your query, we'll be sharing you the documentation link. In that documentation link, I have just dropped it in the chat. You have all the methods and how they work. So that functionality you can explore through the documentation first. If you still have any queries, we have our emails dropped in the chat. You can reach out to us through that.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, over to you, Ankita.
Thank you so much, Sumit.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for joining in the session today. We give a huge round of thank you to the new Indictrans team to actually provide us a lot of insights with regard to the asset management. In case you have any other further queries, because of the limitation of time, we are not being able to take each and every query. So if you have any queries, you can just reach out to the new Indictrans team, or you can even reach out to Frappe as well. We will help you redirect to new Indictrans team. Moreover, we would like you to actually provide us your valuable feedback as well. So after the closure of the session, there is a quick feedback form which will pop up. So we would request you to fill in the feedback form. Also, we are also sharing the feedback form in the chat box itself. So please do share your valuable feedback so that we can conduct more sessions like this, and it will help the Frappe as well as the new Indictrans team to actually work out more sessions like this. So thank you everyone for joining in. Hope you have a wonderful day.
Thank you all. Great session,
Thank
Sumit.
you. Thank you everyone for participating in webinar.
Thank you, Ankita. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks, everyone.